What's up, guys? We're gonna brobeatz, and today I'm gonna be showing you how to make a dark Christmas beat. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the video. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our melody. So we have a bunch of instruments here. That's because we already made our melody in the last video. Okay, so I went over how to make these and how to make them sound dark and kind of give that vibe off. So I'll play it. All right, so if you didn't see that video, I would suggest going back and watching that so you can have your own melody, or you could just kind of make the one we have here. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing is using these sounds to support this, right? We don't want to change the melody. So we have a piano here, okay, and then I'm just kind of bounce all over the place because with this kind of little method, we don't need to use tricks and stuff, right, to create melodies. We just want to choose one simple tone and just kind of run with it. Now, if you want to use the G sharp minor, because we are in the G sharp minor, you want to use one of these because these land on these half steps here, which will give you like a dark sound. If you want to do that, you can. So we could actually probably use that. And this could be like, let's see, we'll probably use this as a bass line actually. And these will be super easy because the only notes you have to work around are these 4 notes. Usually you will have those 7 notes to work around. And I guess you can include the root, but these notes are the ones you want to kind of build your melodies around. So it's going to be really easy to figure out what works. Let's make this a little bit longer. Let's see, like that. And we might be able to use this as a bass line too. So I'm gonna copy this and put it here to our bass. Okay, I like that. I think we can stop there. We did quite a bit, so we can go ahead and move on to our other sounds. All right, so let's go ahead and start our other instruments, and we can try to knock these out real quick. But I want to explain this bass line real quick because I didn't really explain too much. So some people may be like, oh, why didn't you use this exact bass line? Well, since our melody is so it's pretty much the same exact chord throughout, we have a little bit more freedom to choose other notes. Now, all we did was we took this chord and we just made a rhythm with it. So if we go over here, you can see it's the same chord pretty much, right? And we pretty much just slid these over, right? So since this is all in the same harmony, we can kind of use these notes for these other notes for our bass line, right? You can do that with other chord progressions as well. It just happened to work for here. So let's go to the violin. This is the violin. And then let's do a 1/3 step. And I'm just listening to where I want it. I don't want to overcomplicate this. And then we want to stick to these notes here to make it sound dark. And then let's do like, you know, something real simple. It doesn't need to be the best thing in the world. We're just kind of adding to the melody. So let's go ahead and move on to one of our flutes. And we can do the same thing. Okay, we just do the same thing here and just let's start on like one of these. And then let's go down so we can. let's just copy this over. Actually, let's move it over again. Trying to get in the right spot. It's kind of weird working with this like super long bar. All right. Just add a little bit of variation. All right, I think that's good. And then what we can do is copy this. And then we have another flute here. Kind of like an ambient flute. And we can just kind of just throw this in. It doesn't need to be like anywhere. Okay, so that is our melody. Very simple. You know, this doesn't really take a lot, especially when you do the first part. But now what we're gonna do is just add some effects, and then we can go ahead and add the drums. All right, so now let's go over some effects. So I'm gonna quickly go through these because in the first video I went over in detail on how to build the template stock and with third party. So everything here is just a different version of that template I showed. So I'm gonna just show like the things that make the sound different. So for the bell, I kind of stripped it, and of course we kept the minor third down, and then I just took everything else off, and then just added the shaper box, and I turned it down because it was a little too muddy with the halftime. So I'll just show the bell at least. All right, and then we'll just go to the piano and just move down. So with the piano, we just same thing, and then we just added a reverse here. Okay, and we just turned that down, and then I didn't really use this preset here. Okay. So let's turn this on. And then the string is just this simple preset. And of course you can see the EQs, just pretty much EQing out the bass. And then I just kind of shave off some of the top if it's just too harsh or if it's punching through the melody too much. Okay. And then for the winds, these both pretty much have the same preset a little bit. I just pan them opposite ways. And the things that are different here is we just have a reverse on half, like through the mid frequencies to the higher frequencies. And then we just have some delay. And then I made a strong cut in the mid section because sometimes the flute can be a little too harsh. So I like to kind of round it off. Okay, let's play it. And then for this one, pretty much the same idea, but the thing that's different here is I just add this add vibration preset, which kind of, I'll just let you hear it. Okay, just add like some creepiness to it. And then the bass, just a minor third. And this is just to give you an idea of some stuff you can add or type of effects. And then the master, it's the same preset I've been using, except it's just altered a bit to where you kind of just use a second clipper to boost it, but you put the threshold up so it does, because you don't want to crush it too much. So you just put it like negative 0.5 or 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into our drums. All right, so let's go ahead and start our 808. So with this, we can just copy this here, and I might fast forward a little bit through this. Probably go up here, and then all we need to do now is just kind of mess around, bounce around with some of these drums. So let's change it to have beat, or actually, here we go. And this will be weird, right? I'll just turn this off so we can get the tune right, because obviously we have that minor third down, which means we'll have to transpose 3. But right now we just want to get the notes right. Okay, I think that's decent. So we got to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we activate this. Okay, and then what we can do now is just add our kick in, and I'll fast forward through this because it's very simple. So okay, so I'll just play the pattern real quick, and I didn't want everything hitting at the same time, so I'll move some things around. All right, so now what we're gonna do is kind of just run through our drums. All right, so let's go ahead and finish up our drums. So I just went ahead and add the clap. Then we right click, set to next bar, and then we can just add in the rest of our stuff. So let that loop. And then out here, let's do this, and then we can figure out where we want our chops just by like pulling something down. Okay, and now let's go to 1/3. And just to add something different to it, it doesn't need to be perfect. Let's copy this over. Okay, I think that's decent for now. And let's play the beat. Take this off, turn all this on, go. All right, and that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.